Well, hello there. I'm Allison Ryan. Welcome back to Bedbugs Podcast. We have a very special episode today because today is my 24th birthday. As we film this, I'm still 23. I have not graced the other side of the year yet, but when you are consuming this, it is my 24th birthday. It worked out really well. I didn't expect this or plan this, but it's the 8th episode coming out on July 8th, which happens to be not only my birthday, but also my lucky number. The Allison Cinematic Universe is sending signs. It's kind of like with Taylor Swift when she like drops Easter eggs and has special numbers. And I'm always like, how much of that is just like coincidence? Because this is a complete coincidence. Honestly, my birthday is kind of the most important day of my year. It's my favorite holiday. It's a day all about me. And I kind of live most days like it's my birthday, but when you have an excuse to be brash about wanting to be self-centered, it's kind of fun. It gives you that extra boost that permission where it's like, no, today you really do get to be a total self-centered bitch. Every other day, not socially acceptable. You can choose to do it. It's just not, it's frowned upon. But today, unleash it, ho. I do love other people's birthdays, so I feel like I kind of get a pass to be a huge birthday person because it's not just to me. Other people's birthdays are kind of not just as important, but almost as important. My brother's birthday growing up, I always said was my secondary birthday because he's like an extension of myself. So his birthday is very similar to my birthday because we wake up extra early, we do presents. Given I wasn't receiving the presents, it's still fun to watch him get stuff, and I'm giving presents, which is another one of my favorite things to do is to give a present. Always have like a special breakfast. Usually we would have some kind of special lunch. There was always just kind of accoutrements that came with the day that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't my brother's birthday. And to his birthday parties, I was always allowed a plus one. I was always allowed to bring one friend. That friend was always Miss Lauren Scussle. That was kind of never up in the air. It was just always Lauren. If Lauren couldn't come, then it would be a fill-in. Then we would go down the roster and choose another friend. But if Lauren could come, she was there. Me and my brother were raised very much in tandem. We were always given things on the same timeline. He's only a year ahead of me in school. So my parents just kind of felt, why are we going to hear this girl bitch and moan? And we always had decently similar interests. Santa knew this. We always got the same Christmas present from Santa. It was always an iPod shuffle, one pink, one blue. We just kind of always had parallel experience growing up. My family made it kind of a point. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, we were just kind of getting duplicates of whatever we were interested in. Our birthdays were very personalized. So I never really cared that he was opening a bunch of presents because it was always things I wasn't really that interested in. It was always video games or a new console or a new like monster dirt bike thing that I wanted no part of to begin with. So that always worked out. My birthday, it was always the same. It was always specialized to makeup or dolls or outfits and shoes, and he didn't really care. So it worked really well. We never had that jealousy, except for one birthday. My brother got a phone for his birthday, and the way they were doing it was my grandma wrote his card. It was like basically flashcards, and he was flipping through them, and it's not a bike, it's not a this, it can fit in your pocket. All these different clues, all in all, for him to guess. It's a phone. I was 11. So, still young enough to kind of feel my feelings. Any older than that, it would have been a very spoiled, embarrassing take. I was in middle school. Everyone wanted a phone. I had an iPod Touch and I would bring that to school every day. And I remember I got this iPhone case from Claire's because the iPhone cases were always cuter than iPod Touch cases. And it looked like a bear. and I put it over my regular iPod case because you have to thicken the iPod up for it to fit in an iPhone case. Was a little loose and it kind of jiggled in there, but it was so much cuter and I wanted people to think I had an iPhone really, really bad. And I threw quite the fit. I went to my room, I was crying. My grandma came and consoled me and basically was like, your time will come. A few weeks later, my grandpa was showing my brother how much data he was allowed to use by showing him the AT&T log and say, this is how much. This is before unlimited data was just something people had, and we didn't have unlimited data. It was more common. If you had unlimited data, you were rolling in it. And we did not have unlimited data, and we each would get 2.5 or whatever gigabytes to use every month. He made the grave mistake of flashing that AT&T log, and I saw another iPhone 5C in parentheses blue, and I knew it was coming my way. I said, "Oh, I can taste it. It is near." Because I never expected to get it for Christmas. Because for Christmas, we always got matching gifts. We got to a certain age where if you're getting a phone or an iPad or something really, it was pricey, parents are taking credit. Santa will give you a tchotchke. My brother was kind of not thrilled about it just because we always got things together, and he was like, I had to wait till I was 13 and she's just getting it. And they basically said, you're lucky you guys didn't just get it both at Christmas, that you got an advance preview. And we kept it pushing, and it never got brought up again. My birthdays as a kid, I would always get to choose what song was on the radio. Me and my brother would always have to kind of compromise on. And I had unadulterated access to the radio and whatever station I wanted. And if a song came on I didn't like, I'd say skip, and they'd go to the next station and find a song that I wanted. And it was just complete power and control. And I remember being on the way to see Paul Blart Mall Cop. I was the dictator of the radio. I was next, skip, next station, keep it. Like, I was just like a conductor at an orchestra, um, just deciding what the car was going to listen to for zero point 0.4 seconds. And it was also a 10-minute ride to the mall to go see this movie. I had some really odd birthdays growing up. When I was a kid, I had a birthday at Chick-fil-A, and it wasn't just, oh, we're at Chick-fil-A. It was pretty Chick-fil-A heavy themed. I was just a huge fan of Chick-fil-A as a child, still am. The Chick-fil-A breakfast is my all-time favorite breakfast, death row meal. And I really loved the idea of the Chick-fil-A cow, and they had the Chick-fil-A cow come to my birthday party, and I sobbed and cried and was so scared of it. I didn't really love costumes or anything of that nature. When I was a kid, it kind of freaked me out. We had Belle at one of my birthdays when I was a kid, and there's a video of me staring at her, just kind of very aware that this maybe isn't Belle, and I was a little cautious. Characters just always kind of made me a bit queasy, but I always had a funny camp theme. I once had a birthday party, I think it was my 8th birthday, something like that. I had a cocktail party, and it was just literally cocktail party themed, and my cake was a giant martini glass. And my Aunt Molly came up with all these special drinks. Odd. It was peculiar that I was allowed to have a cocktail party. I think everyone just thought it was really amusing, which it is amusing. I love a kid that just kind of gets it. A kid that's a little weird. And I was always kind of that kid. I was always kind of the kid that was a little bit odd. My uncle always got me the coolest gifts known to man. He was the uncle that was pulling up with a gift that had been sold out completely for months. And, you know, he somehow would acquire it for me. And I remember one year I was obsessed with the song Low. It was my theme song. It was my anthem. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, with the fur. I was obsessed. I had a dance, a choreographed little dance that I made that was pretty simple. And it was my go to song. And I was probably 6 or 7. And my uncle got me apple bottom jeans and Ugg boots, boots with the fur. This isn't my birthday, but Christmas, he acquired Zuzu pets. They were sold out everywhere and I wanted them so bad. It's all I wanted for Christmas. He got me 40 of them and every single accessory to go with them, all the tunnels and the balls and the craziness. He got me everything. It was like an empire. He was like, "Oh, you want Zuzu pets? Here's every Zuzu pet made." My 19th birthday, I have to say, is probably one of my favorite birthdays. And I think it's because 18 was so lackluster. It was COVID. And actually, before my 18th birthday, I got really high. I think, like, for the first time, I had been given an edible and by my dad, and he made them DIY and very clearly fucked them the hell up. And I greened out so hard. I was calling my brother. I thought I was going to die. I thought the police were going to come find me. And it was right after I texted my dad, so classic. This isn't even hitting. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, what was I in for? I went downstairs to the kitchen. I was at my grandma's house. Go downstairs to the kitchen. It was probably 3 a.m. And I started making myself a mug cake because it's prime COVID, of course. Why not? I'm making myself a mug cake. It starts hitting. I laid down on the floor of the kitchen and thought to myself, my grandma and grandpa are going to find my body dead. Ditched the mug cake, literally just put it in the sink and started crawling up the stairs. I called my brother. He didn't answer. I call him again. Doesn't answer. I texted him. I said, Carson, I think I'm going to die. I think this is my last day on earth. He was also high from my dad's brownie. And his advice to me was get in the shower and open your mouth. So I climb into the tub. I'm sitting in the tub, shower on, and it's shower just streaming into my face, my jaw open. And he was texting me, drink, just keep drinking the water. His brain was like, she needs to be kind of alerted, like she needs to lock back in and also get water in her system. And he's high. That was his advice to me. So I'm in there, I'm drinking water at the speed of light, this shower water, and then I just start throwing up. Just throwing up all over myself in the shower. Just mouth open, taking in water, puking. Taking in water, puking. Over and over again. And that was awesome. Finally, I was like, okay, let me try to go to bed. I think I've puked enough. So I rinse off. I'm fully in my clothes. I peel my wet pajamas off of my body. I'm thinking, great, gonna have to explain that to my grandma in the morning. I crawl back to my room. I put a sleep shirt on. I get into bed. And I'm like, if I just close my eyes, it will be better in the morning. Every time I'm closing my eyes, I'm seeing strobe lights. I was imagining people breaking through my window and killing me. I just was getting so paranoid and freaking myself out. So I took half of a Benadryl and said, this is going to knock me the fuck out or kill me. One of the two. Who knows? Either one is better than this right now. Take half of a Benadryl. I was right. It knocks me the hell out. Next morning, I had to go on a road trip with my grandparents to Los Angeles, a 7-hour road trip from Arizona. So I get awoken bright and early by my grandma. I'm shitting my pants. I'm still high as hell. I tell her that I ate something bad, that I'm not feeling good. They have me sit shotgun in the car. I'm in this car ride, just high as a kite, pretending that I'm sleeping the whole way. Even if I was awake, eyes were shut. Did not want to be spoken to because I was so blasted. We get to our beach house after a 7.5 hour drive. I walk in, and as I'm walking past my room, I hallucinate a figure, and then I pause and I'm staring at this hallucination thinking, this figure looks a lot like my cousin Anthony. Oh, fuck, it's my cousin Anthony. They had flown my cousin Anthony in from New York to come quarantine with us for my birthday. There's a video. I do not look normal in it at all. I look like a demented version of reality. I'm just like moving in slow motion. Then we did a fucking car parade the next day against my will. What a way to turn 18. So the next year I was like, I got to get my lick back. I got to lock in. This is going to be the birthday of my life. My two best friends fly to Los Angeles. We had planned quite the itinerary. Wake up, breakfast at my grandma's house by the beach, get in the car, go get our hair done at Dry Bar, come back. We're going to have a picnic for lunch in the backyard, and we're going to drive to the valley. We're going to get ready. We're going to go to dinner at this place in Hollywood. After, we're going to go to the club, and anyone in my family who wants to meet me there is going to go to the club with me. Bus, club, another club, bar, bus. This birthday had to be perfect. It was executing on the highest caliber from every single party. I will never forget being like, you guys, should I text my situationship at the time? The entire car, a chorus of no's. This was the situationship from hell. He had at one point told me, this is like where I was at with him. He told me that he wasn't going to remember my birthday when we were like in the thick of the situationship. And I was so delusional. I was like, wow, that must be a line he tries to tell you to make you think he doesn't care about you because he cares about you so much. No, he was telling me, I am not going to store your birthday in my brain. I will not do it. And I didn't listen to that. And I thought 100% he's going to text me on my birthday, even though we haven't talked in a few months. It's going to be the perfect time for him to slide back in. No, he didn't remember my birthday. And then I was like, should I text him? Everyone, thank God, brought me back down to earth by physically and forcibly removing my phone from my body. That birthday was incredible. And it was kind of a birthday bender weekend. When I tell you, we got so fucked up. We did the trend where it was like, this is me after one shot of vodka. I had just discovered this liquor called Kinky, and it was like the step above Malibu. You know, it was like Malibu's so high school. We're in college now. We drink Kinky. Rancid, disgusting looking back on it now, but it was sweet, didn't taste like alcohol really. So we were downing it at an 18 plus bar club. They let you in, but you can't drink. So we knew we just had to arrive blasted. We did end up getting COVID from that second night out, but we were all vaccinated. So it was kind of that time where everyone was vaccinated and they just, everyone thought COVID was going to be like no longer because everyone was vaccinated. But we did get COVID, and that was my second time having COVID. It almost took my life. That COVID was really bad. Like, I really thought I was going to die. My next birthday, my 20th birthday, was my first birthday in a relationship, which I thought was going to be like, oh my God, my birthday is the greatest thing ever. This is so awesome. And Jonah Gentleman ruined my birthday disastrously. I opened all my presents. It was going fine. I got a dress for my birthday and it didn't fit the way I wanted it to. So I asked Jonah if he would go exchange it for me. And it's taking him a long ass time. And I was like, oh my God, like we have to go. It's taking him forever. He's got to hustle. He gets home sobbing. And me and my mom were like, okay, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Jonah, unfortunately, hit a person with my car. So I know you may be thinking, okay, what's the real story? LOL. No, he hit a person with my car. He was driving home and he claims the person hit him. So Jonah's account of it is that the person runs in the street, clips him, hit him, need to turn around, but it said no U-turn. So Jonah's waiting for the next time he can U-turn. By the time he could U-turn, the man was gone. And he said he saw him run off after. He hit him, end quote. Now, let's break this down. Jonah's driving. Man runs into the street. What are you going to do? There was no time to swerve. By the time he was able to stop and process, he went to go take a U-turn. But there's no U-turn. The signs say no U-turn. So as a law-abiding citizen, what is he to do? Not U-turn. Duh. Not like you just hit a person, which is also illegal. So by the time he U-turned, the man was gone. He was in the wind. He did take basically the whole side mirror was just dangling off the car. And then we have to sit in the car for an hour to go to my grandparents and tell my grandparents. And I'm sitting there just birthday ruined. And I get a notification on my phone that says Jonah has joined Citizen. Because apparently Citizen tells your contacts when you join. Did you just join Citizen to see if people reported a person hitting another person with the car? And yes, he did. The coast was clear. Nobody reported it. We go to lunch. The lunch was super somber and not fun because everyone was trying to turn around, but the vibe just wasn't there. We're drinking. We're getting a little buzz going before we go anywhere. Jonah tries beer for the first time, takes a sip, starts just throwing up all over my kitchen. As soon as the beer hit his tongue, projectile vomit all over my kitchen. So now I got to clean that up on my birthday, as well as him hitting a person with my car. It was such a horrific birthday, in fact, that I've had to hit Command V for every birthday after. Jonah does not come to my birthday anymore, and I copy and paste birthdays. I go to Terranea with my best friend. We have dinner at the same restaurant with my family, and that's it. I get my little massage. I have a mimosa. I lay in the sun. It's an echo chamber of everything I love. I'm Groundhog Daying it so that it's just perfection every year. There's a formula, stick to it, and nothing can go wrong. And the number one piece of that formula is unfortunately that Jonah can't be with me on my birthday. I do have a few birthday wishes for my 24th year. I would like to continue getting carded when I go to bars. That's really important to me. I don't care how that happens, whether that's skincare or a medical procedure, whatever it takes, really. I would like to continue getting carded. A goal I'm setting for myself is to not wait 5 to 6 weeks in between manicures. That's really important to me because I seem to not be capable of that at 23, and that's something I'm hoping to outgrow. If you're watching the video portion of this, you can see I've had this manicure on for probably about a little over a month now. Also, checking the mail more. I go months without checking the mail. I think they've started sending my mail back. I check my packages, no worries there. That's easy for me because it's all online shopping. But my mail's difficult because so much of it is junk. I very rarely actually get something in the mail that's of use to me. It's definitely on my list for 24. And I've also decided that I want to start wearing contacts. I think 24 is going to be my year of contacts. You guys are kind of the only people who see me in my glasses. I don't traditionally wear my glasses throughout any other facet of my life. I usually tell people I've kind of seen enough. I just like to go around seeing what I see. If I can't see it, then I wasn't meant to see it. I think I'm outgrowing that because when I was in DC, there's a lot of things to read, a lot of art to see, a lot of statues and museums and such. And so I wore my glasses the whole weekend. And I realized, wow, life's pretty cool when you can see stuff. It's another big thing for me is about a year ago, I went to one of my cousin's wedding and I was walking in, and as I was walking in, I was kind of walking down the aisle because that's how we would get to our seats. And one of my cousins was standing up there, and I realized I didn't even really recognize him. And I realized, ooh, I really, really, really want to be able to see Jonah's face on our wedding day and not just see a blur. And a few weeks ago, I was walking towards Jonah in the street. We were meeting up, and I couldn't see him at all. But just from the way he walked, I knew it was him. I know that I know that walk. That's my walk, you know? It's my guy. I can recognize you from a blob. That's something in my 24th year I've decided for myself. I am going to take the steps to get contacts. And this is really breaking news for anyone who knows me. I did try to wear contacts in high school, and I had my first boyfriend at the time, actually, and I decided to get contacts, and they dried my eyes out, the wrong formula, the wrong contact brand. It just wasn't right for my eyes. I had like 12 boxes left. I just decided I would not wear them and not say anything. And there lied the root issue. Every single year, my eyesight just gets worse and worse. And those are my biggest hopes for 24. So let's see a year from now where we end up with that. When I was a kid, my grandma used to say that every year on the night before my birthday, I would get really, really upset and say how much I was going to miss this age. You know, when I was 8, I was really going to miss 8. And when I was 16, I was really going to miss 16. And my grandma always said, yeah, but you really missed 7, or you really missed 9. You know, you really missed every other age. And then you loved this age. So I'm trying to really instill that in myself, because I was really going to miss 22. And then I think 23 has been my best year yet. And I'm really going to miss 23. But I know a year from now, I'm going to really miss 24. And that's really what 24 is going to be all about. Okay, for my first bed bug as a 24-year-old, my bed bug of the week is the last 10 minutes of my birthday, when I know I'm going to have to wait another year for my birthday. It drives me nuts. It's honestly like the worst 10 minutes of the year, when you just know the clock is getting closer and closer. It's not going to be my birthday anymore. And I'm going to have to wait a whole nother year for this, a whole 365 to get right here again. All right, you guys, that was the birthday episode of Bedbugs Podcast, my first one, 8 on the 8th. I had a lot of fun. I love my birthday. I hope you love my birthday too. Until next week, sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. Love ya.